Sims, and we are back with more Code Realize Wintertide Miracles, and we're starting Saint Germain's path today. Kind of excited. Um, yeah. Anyway, that's all I have to say to start this. So yeah. Code Realize. A terrorist plot that threatened the entire world, masterminded by the genius scientist Isaac Beckford, the modern Prometheus. His desire was to become a god over humanity. His madness drove his desire to push civilization into enduring a global war. The cornerstone of this terrible plan was me, the daughter of Isaac, Spacey. Embedded in my chest, blossoming like some terrible flower, was the precursor to the Philosopher's Stone, the Horologium. This false heart, eternally beating with its poison running through me, is my curse. However, without having anyone to reach out to, without anyone being there to reach out to me, my fate to live my life as a monster, that quietly began to change on the day I took the hand of the gentleman thief. Then, to search for my father and to discover the purpose of my being born, I came to the city of Steel, London, where I met many of my friends. Even though we've done this like 3 times before, this is our 4th time doing this, it's still like, oh, wait, hold on. Oh! Okay, that's just, there's like I can see a speck. And I thought it was on my TV, but it's not. Wait, that's weird. Anyway, the magnificent gentleman thief, Arsène Lupin. The dream-chasing genius engineer, Impy Barbicane. Okay, it was just Lupin. There was like a dot on it. I was like, that better not be something wrong with my TV. Okay, sorry. The sin-bearing alchemist, Victor Frankenstein. The mysterious, elegant noble, Saint Germain. The war hero dubbed as the human weapon, Abraham von Helsing. Meeting each of them, the countless days I've spent with them, this helped nurture the love in my heart when I thought I was but a doll. The things that gave warmth to my body when I had thought myself a monster. This is why I was able to save him, my brother who suffered, yearning for love. Why I was able to make that confrontation with the scientist who met a wretched fate, driven mad by his lost love. In the end, Father's mad plans vanished into the sky along with his desires. I've since returned to my home in Wales, where I now live with my little brother Finis. At times, my friends visit me, and at others, I go to visit them. However, my brother and I usually spend our days together in peace. And just when I've begun to get used to this newfound lifestyle, winter and its crisp air have arrived sooner than I could realize. Every breath a white cloud in the winter cold, and the wind brings with it a frosty bite now. Oh, eyes are burning. It's a season that's inherently quiet, inherently lonely, but I'm certain this town cares not for the cold and is filled with liveliness today as usual. No, in fact, this winter will be more exciting than ever. It was only a few days ago that I found out. This year, it seems, London is planning a grand Christmas celebration to coincide with the unveiling of the Reconstruction Memorial. Led by Queen Victoria, Christmas trees will adorn streets all throughout the city. There will be many stalls at the Christmas market as well. If the city is decorated with holiday colors, I'm sure it'll look more beautiful than usual. And on such a joyful day as that, it's hard to picture Lupin and his fun-loving crew simply sitting by doing nothing. Something is bound to happen when Christmas arrives. That much is certain. I know, right? We're gonna fall in love with fucking Saint Germain. I can't wait for you to see his fucking coat, man. It is goddamn amazing. My chest is full of excitement as I consider of the holiday that's fast approaching. Anyway, yes, this is the story of a particular Christmas that occurred in a darling Wintertide London. Now we gotta do Saint Germain's voice, and I don't know if I can fucking remember it. Like, even though we've done it before, but it always takes me a while to get into it. So pardon me while I screw this up for a while. I can't believe I never noticed the border. You know what? Whatever. Anyway, I'm not certain of how many times I've felt this way. However, every time I come here, it returns. We'll get into it. I'm sorry. I know it's not great, but anyway. And the thought that this place does not change. Ah, but it's still so cute. And the soft wind plucking at the branches and leaves, constantly flowing about a set point. Without ever being tired of doing so, the birds chirp for people in the way that they always do. Deep within the forest of fog, the main base of the secret organization, IDEA. IDEA's Forest. Forest of Fog. A mysterious forest where the secret society known as IDEA is based. Forests of the same name exist all around the world, all of them connecting by magic to the same location. Today, like any other day, a piece coming from a tiny garden one might think eternal resides. Whether the world may be exposed to calamity, whether the time of a great innovation arrives, this land, as if to have been left behind by time, it continues to exist without change. Yes, even though just the other day, a battle determining the fate of the world had occurred. Oh my god, we got the full! Look at that fucking coat! We got the full pan up on Saint Germain. Motherfucker, they have not done the full pan up on any other boys. They kind of like start at the knees and go up, but we got the full boot. We got the whole ankle up. Wow. And look, the shady bastard has his eyes open. He's so fucking pretty. I do love him. He's so stabby. That's why I love him, because he's like, oh, I'm eccentric and strange, and you're like, you're cute, you're strange. Oh, what the fuck? I love the ones that are strange and bizarre and hide a secret. He's the Shiraishi in this game. That's exactly like, you're like, he's a little oh, you hiding some shit. Okay. But that coat, God. I just want to back up and do that pan up again. That fucking, and you only see the coat from like the waist up. I don't even see that it had that long tail. That's even fucking better. I need this fucking thing in my life. I would wear that. I'm not even kidding. It's gorgeous. Although, I suppose it was not just the other day, and the seasons have already passed, as it were.
Yes, though seemingly instant to us, it is a long enough time for a human being.
I'm not doing her voice right either. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, the leader of IDEA, a group that guides history, and the owner of this miniature garden, Omnibus. I fucking love her dog! Oh, I forgot about the fucking dog with the monocle and the top hat. Oh, we need top hats and monocles for animals in the fucking Sims, like eye patches and fucking like pirate hats, and we need more pet clothes is all I'm saying. With a calm smile, she slowly sips her cup of black tea.
It's a marvel, Saint Germain. The world heading to destruction. To stop it, it should have been essential to eliminate the twins who would become the keys to the calamity. Regardless, the plan has been foiled as we see, and the twins are both alive. To think that such a future had been waiting, I myself couldn't have even begun to imagine. I feel my confidence is going to waver. I am joking, Lilith. I was just a bit surprised with the results.
I like the fact that her dog's name is Lilith, but it totally looks like a boy dog with the monocle and the top hat, but it's probably a girl dog, and I like it.
And now, go play.
I was going to read that like me. I'm sorry. Lilith, who was waiting next to Omnibus, makes a single cry and dashes into the wide garden. And the old woman smiles to herself as she watches Lilith among the flowers. I can't do his voice. I don't know what it is. It's bad, but I'm sorry. Anyway. God, he's pretty. I love it when he has his eyes open because he's so beautiful, and then he closes his eyes and you're like, I mean, he's still beautiful then, but it's just like, anyway. I was surprised too, Omnibus. And to the best of my knowledge, not once has one of your predictions not come true.
Yes, that's right. Even this future now was something that was never supposed to come.
However, and now that we've come to this, it is a fact that can no longer be denied. Am I wrong? Most likely, the future that Omnibus saw was supposed to be the proper course of history. But the reason such a different form had shown was due to the intersection of many factors. And this includes the twins, bound by fate, and the members of Lupin's crew. Queen Victoria, as well as many others who live in London. And finally, due to the IDEA's apostles reaching for that small possibility. such an unpredicted new fate was pulled in. I really think what they should have done instead of Alistair and Nemo was done Sholmes and Watson, and then you could have done Hansel and fucking Guinevere, because she's hot. Who would complain about a side date with her? Like, I'd be okay with it. I'm just saying. Disregarding whether that was actually the case, and this was the only way I could think of it. If I may say something cliche, each and every person's actions, including ours, had changed the fate that you predicted. And that, in fact, was nothing short of a miracle.
A miracle, you say? I haven't felt close to that word in a very long time.
Omnibus speaks quietly as she brings the tea to her mouth slowly. Get that fucking coat, dude. As if to meditate on those words.
I still haven't heard your report, Saint Germain. Just how is London?
The reconstruction is moving along smoothly. It helped that the apostles had scattered to various places, which reduced damages. I expect the day the wounds of the Nautilus are completely gone is not too far away. Also, as seeing that damage happen right before her eyes, as seeing the world is becoming weary of war, a Queen Victoria is currently leading her policy toward a peace treaty. United Kingdom, the greatest military power, turns from its old policy towards peace. Looking closely at the turning point of history, Omnibus makes a light nod.
I had doubts as to whether countries would take advantage of this, but the apostles sent to each country had also prevented war from breaking out. For now, we can assume the dangers have passed.
And then it is now settled. Even so, I sent a silent prayer out for the few who had become victims. Omnibus gently returned the teacup once she finished hearing my report.
What do we have left? Oh yes, how to deal with those siblings. And now that the power of the horologium is gone, the chances of her becoming the seat of calamity have become extremely low. We won't take our eyes off them completely, but I'm sure there won't be a problem if we let them be unless they do something strange.
And that would mean from this point on that regular observation will not be necessary. Oh my god, have you been observing us? You've been spying on us? That's so creepy and sexy at the same time. Look, it's creepy if anybody else does it. When it's Saint Germain, it's fine. You know what I mean? And that's definitely good news for those who desire a peaceful life. It is good news, but at the same time, I suddenly think, ever since that incident, Hansel and I had been checking in to see how they were doing under the pretext of regular surveillance. However, if we were relieved of that position, then we won't have that pretext anymore. For me, that was quite unfortunate to hear.
You seem disappointed. No matter. I'll go and see them if you'd like. I'm certain you have no need to worry about your position now.
No, I do not want to meddle, and they're spending their time as family. Also, in regards to Finis, I am certain he would have mixed feelings if we met face to face. Yes, and though unavoidable due to my position, I have many debts to the Finises during that battle. If he, the last remaining of them all, held some reservations towards me, and then it's only natural. And doing so is the only way to salvation for those Finises. If I can isolate my feelings like Hansel said, and then it would take a weight off my mind, and no matter what, my current self cannot seem to do the things I had been able to do until now. Before, it was a very natural thing to separate myself from necessary victims. Anyway, Omnibus, what shall I do for the next mission? And that's why you called me, correct?
Yes, there are many things I would like you to do, but...
Closing her eyes and shifting in her wheelchair, Omnibus seemed to be thinking about something. The words that are spoken at the ends of the short silence are,
Ideas, Apostle Saint Germain. As leader of Idea, I give you my next order. Why don't you take a break for a while?
During my long life as an apostle, I have never taken a mission like this. Look at how pretty he is when he's shocked. His eyes are just so pretty. We never see them open, but they're beautiful. I'll leave Leaving the house that Omnibus lives in, I walk through the forest where fog drifts. And there's no need to search nor follow a path. One will get through eventually, and this space works in that way. God, can you just keep your eyes open like this the whole time? It's just like, ugh. Anyway, Omnibus has changed quite a bit. The leader of Idea, Omnibus, until now, was in command to make sure to crush the omens of ruins that she predicted. And there's no room for uncertainty to be mixed in among those commands. Before, I'm sure that she would refuse a word such as miracle, which could not be measured. However, oh, nope, there he goes, closes his eyes. In this version of her I just saw did not deny it, and it even smiled as if she was happy. Well, if it's in regards to change, then I suppose I'm not one to talk. After bringing Spacey and Lupin's crew to observe at the mansion as ordered, although I was ordered to kill her, I prolonged her destruction many times. The objective was always to kill the twins, and there was no point killing her first. She was the bait to lure her little brother, Finis, so it was too early to kill her. Piling such excuses on top of the twins, even if I had to go against Idea's orders. Before that one instance, I was always able to perform any mission in a detective. All of this must be from their influence. The days I've spent them and the noise of daily lives that I hold so dear. They had brought me something. My heart was dead to the living for so long. This is why right now, even just a little, I cannot help but feel nervous to go back. Because... oh, I'm at London before I realized. As I ponder, light suddenly becomes bright. Beyond the edge of the fog of forest is the forest area of Greater London. The fog of forest? The forest of fog, you mean? I squint my eyes against the sunlight penetrating through leaves. There's no rest for Idea's apostles. The world is constantly filled with bad omens, and it increases in number by the moment. But for her to tell me to take a break, well, and this break is sudden and unexpected. Whatever shall I do? Without finding answers to these questions, I continue walking towards the city of London. The mansion of Count Saint-Germain stands in the forest area of Middle London. From the cities of Rome and Paris to the new continents of Asia or even Africa, I have mansions all across the world, but this mansion here in London is the one that's most special to me. There's no need for me to explain now how it came to be so special. Starting with Spacey, it's where we all gathered, Lupin's crew, and the place we laughed, and the place we lived, and where we encountered our fate. This is the only place I could call home. This is why, as I step into the hall, as I take a look around, I say, I have come home. As my voice ceases to echo, a curtain of silence fills the surroundings. What I hear instead is the slow, steady ticking of the grandfather clock. Even though I wait a moment standing in place, and no response will break that silence. That's only natural. After all, in this house, and no one is here except myself. Do you feel so poor thing? I have this huge mansion and no one is here. Aw. Code realize. And the mad plan by Isaac Beckford, the string that connected us, Lupin's crew. After the terrible plan that sought to destroy London as a stepping stone was halted, and the members, each with their own objectives, began to walk their own separate paths. I suppose I had better get used to this silence soon. And I love that he's like, let me put this on. Like, I take my coat off and I have my, like, house jacket. I love it. I speak out loud as I change my clothes. I say that in an attempt to persuade myself, and then I change my thoughts and walk down the hall. What I should be more concerned with is how exactly to spend this break. Go out on a journey. I don't think it makes a difference, but I feel like go out on a journey to Wales, perhaps. been so long. Perhaps I'll just go on a journey as my will guides me. In actuality, it's not a bad idea at all. I've flown all around the world in this long life of mine. The visiting towns I came to centuries ago would make me happy or sad to see how they've changed. And searching for views or skylines that have remained unchanged amidst all of the ones that have, I believe this will provide a very fun time. And truly, it is a fine idea. I should hurry and pack my things that I may leave the mansion and... I trail off as I realize something. If I leave, then there'll not be anyone at all in this mansion. Welcome back. If no one was here to greet someone who has returned home, if they were welcomed by the soft but unsatisfying silence, I'm sure that person would be saddened. Especially if that person is the girl who knows very well the loneliness of solitude. You gotta get you someone who thinks of you like these boys think of Spacey is all I'm saying. Like, good fucking Lord. She's like, hi. They're like, I love you. Okay. I mean, I want to be like, get you a man that's like Saint Germain who's like supposed to stab you, but is like, I love you too much, can't kill you. I mean, you really should actually aspire to have someone who loves you enough to not stab you. That's all I'm saying. You know. But perhaps it's best if I hold off on traveling. It's a foolish emotion if I say so myself. It's quite unlikely to say that she'll come here on a whim. But even so, I have too much time on my hands anyway, and this is a fine way to spend it. I shall begin by taking my time and cleaning up every inch of the mansion. I bet if you just said clean, like stay home, it would probably start here. You know what I mean? It seems we're already well into autumn before I even noticed. If I don't sweep regularly, the fallen leaves will pile up so quickly. He's so precious. Since that day when Omnibus gave me the break, I've had too much time on my hands. I began with a deep cleaning of the mansion. It's quite a large building, but I've been cleaning regularly and I don't have very many things. That's a load of crap. You're an art collector. You have a bazillion fucking things. And just lightly dusting off the rooms would suffice for most of them. Yes, but with a few exceptions. I suppose this should be the first place I should clean up. The wood boxes cluttered all over the place, and the tools spilling out from all sides, and many parts of unknown use scattered throughout the courtyard area called Impy's workshop. And this workshop, filled with various things, was a manifestation of Impy's mind. I know he would resist a cleanup even if I forced it upon him, but... And now that the owner of the workshop is not here, it's the perfect chance for correction. Or, in other words, a proper cleaning. I'll be letting myself in, Impy. These are parts for the automobile, extra lights and vapor pressure cylinder. You look so perplexed. Is this? Ah, yes. A strange invention that sounds an alarm when it senses a dangerous person near its princess. Yeah! That scared my bird. Phew! The alarm responded to me. It must be defective. When he said an alarm that senses a dangerous person, I'm like, it's gonna go off. I'm like you, because you're gonna kill her. Oh, he's not dangerous anymore, though. And throwing it in the trash as I pretend to not understand what happened, I sort out each object and continue cleaning up. I hope that I'll finish cleaning before Lupin and Impy return. It's been about half a month since the two of them set out. I'll be going to France for a while. And there's someone that I would really like to report that Code Realize has been put a stop to. As Lupin said, he left with Impy, who was saying that he wanted to stock up on high-performance parts made in France. I wonder if he's already met with that person by now. Alright, the balance is at a normal level, and I'm done setting up the passenger seat. Alrighty, partner. The little ornithopter here was reborn into a two-seater. We're ready to fly off to France anytime. Oh, is it quite earlier than planned, no? And the genius engineer lives up to his name.
Of course! I was worried about what to do when Lupin said to give him a ride to France, but I was also just thinking of testing long-range flight with the ornithopter, so it seemed like a timely request.
Sorry to ask so suddenly, Impy. And there's a place I really need to get to. But never mind that. So where's this passenger seat? It better not be this thing that looks like a swing underneath the craft. It isn't, right?
Can't expect any less from my partner. We can maybe do a short flight, but this baby's a one-seater, you know? So, Mr. Impy had an idea. I can carry Lupin by hanging him.
I love pissed Lupin eyes. Like, I just love it.
Whoa! Throwing the spanner's real dangerous. Wait, I thought the elegant gentleman thief didn't like violence.
Shut up! And that wasn't violence, it was a protest. There's no way I can cross the Strait of Dover in a cheerful-looking swing like this. Hurry up and rebuild it. Oh, that's me. It isn't good to reject something before you even try it. Why don't you attempt getting in it first?
Saint Germain is like, I want you to fall out of it and die. Like,
I was supposed to kill Spacey, and I didn't, and I've killed a lot of people, so if you fell out and got injured, it would just, my bloodlust is just going crazy here. Although, at first glance, you appear to be a convict that is pulled around by convict that's pulled around with a rope by a horse. And judging from the situation back then, I'm certain they plan to stay a while, and so it may be some time before they return. Until then, it seemed, I'll continue a quiet mansion life by myself for a while. Letting a small breath out, I stretched my hand towards the tools that had been left out. And the day following my massive cleaning of Impy's workshop, and the most difficult spot, and the place that I thought of cleaning up next was a room that contrasted the workshop. Oh, a clean, simple room that shows no signs of wear, a minimal amount of furniture. This isn't my room, my bed was pink. In the corner, a neatly folded bedding is stacked up out of the way. And the only things identifying the room's owner are the bandages and medical equipment that were placed on the shelf just in case. Though he moved away, he'll occasionally stay over if something happens, so I was gonna say, it was like Victor or, like, all of the other rooms looked the same. I was like, I was expecting him to come into our room, but, you know, so this would be, like, probably Victor, but I was like, this was what Victor and Van Helsing and Lupin and, like, everybody else's room looked like. It would make sense if some of his personal effects stayed here. Victor. Sorry, thank you, Count. You've given me so much help. You even helped me pack. No need to be so formal. I'm only doing what I can as a fellow member of the crew. Thank you. Their voices sound the same right now. I don't know. But I must say, it is quite the decision for you to open a clinic in Lower Street. True. To be honest, I was also given an offer by a certain government agency, but in the end I chose this. Why is that? Developing new medicine in a research facility would surely contribute to the people as well. Yes, there's no denying the benefit that could come of working in a place like that. But I'm certain there are many things I'd not be able to see or reach for if I isolated myself in a research lab. I became very aware of this through that incident. That's why, what people yearn for, by seeing people directly via the clinic, I take my first step in understanding them. And that's quite admirable. It would be uncouth of me to say anything. I would at the least like to gift you with a celebration of your opening to pray for your success, but... Oh, Cece! Oh, what's wrong? I am sure Cece feels lonely as well. He'll not be seeing you anymore after all. Oh, I'm happy that he likes me so much, but still... Oh, Victor, I can pay for his expenses, but is it okay with you? Do you think you could take him? Huh? Me? Yes, I'm not home very often, and Lupin and the others are also gone much of the time. In that respect, you'll be the most settled. Most of all, excluding her, you're the one Cece listens to the most. What do you think, Cece? Are you okay with that? Yeah, he was like, don't leave me with the Count! The Count will forget to feed me! Probably. I love the Count, but I'm just saying.
Now, it's been a while since he left, and there have been a few opportunities to see him in Lower London. Even still, I've not yet been able to see him due to the increasing popularity of his clinic. But I wonder if it would be okay if I take him a gift sometime.
In any case, it's a very joyous thing for a youngster to walk the path he has chosen. Because he's like fucking 700 years old. It's like a vampire. And a young genius in the world of alchemy, Victor Frankenstein. I should have made him a vampire in The Sims when I made the character. I didn't. Anyway. And there was once a time Idea had been watching him for his abilities, but I'm sure that with his current mindset, he'll no longer deviate from the right path. Holding such conviction, I start to wipe and clean the windows. Saint Germain speaks to my soul because this is what I've been doing in my apartment. It looks so fucking nice. Like almost everything is clean. I just need to do like a last vacuum. And the next day and the day after, other than devoting myself to cleaning, ever so calm days of having nothing particular to do pass by. I think to myself how ironic it is. Having been given a break from Idea now, what was also known as the symbol of stop time, feels like time has stopped even more than when I'm on a mission. The only way I discern the days passing is the gradual cleanliness of the rooms. I mean, that's a lot of shit to clean. The area I clean up today is around the gate of the mansion. Brick walls begin to bake under the sunlight. Even the parts of the fence that appear clean have paint cracking and peeling. However, I'm not of the mind to completely rebuild or remodel it. And perhaps it's silly for me to be particular. If possible, when those who are out journeying return, this same gate should be here to welcome them. Yes, for example, just as I saw of those who left to protect the surviving vampires. We were under your care for a long time. Allow me to thank you once again, Count.
Yeah, I feel the same way, of course. And for those of us who lost our families, we could call this place our second home.
Fucking love Delhi. Just hearing those words is more than enough thanks for me. To think I would ever hear those words from you, who opposed me in the beginning. You see many things living this long. Huh. I know very well that it's unusual of me. You're leaving London and heading north, correct?
Indeed. There are rumors my clan members have managed to escape around that area. I must see it for myself.
I see. It will be a journey to an unfamiliar land. But please take care of yourself. I'm quite used to journeys like this, though babysitting is a journey I've yet to embark upon.
How are you babysitting? You're a child too. You just have the body of a brute.
Cute. Van Helsing and Delacroix II. I saw them off on their journey from this gate. Out of all of Lupin's crew out on their journeys, I have the least opportunity to see those two. Although, according to their letters, the vampire protection activities have begun recently, and it seems they have some time to spare. I wonder when they'll be coming to London next. A winter must be close. Looking up as these thoughts pass by, the sky above me feels far higher. From the mansion exterior to Impy's workshop, the hallway, living room, and members' rooms, and the deep cleaning that I slowly work my way through starts to show signs of ending soon. Before I know it, there's only one other room that I've yet to touch. Hours. He waited for last because he didn't want to go in because he'll cry. Poor Saint Germain. Look at his longing face. I had a vague premonition, but as I thought, this room became last. And it wasn't particularly intentional. It would perhaps be just an excuse. Stopping in front of the door, I close my eyes and take a deep breath. And this will be no different than the other rooms. I tidy up the room's things, clean the dust off, and then wipe the windows. Even so, I wonder why such uncertainty arises within my heart. No, I already have a vague understanding why. And most likely, I'll be coming in now, Miss Spacey. She's not here. She'll not answer me. That fact is terribly heart-wrenching for me. Oh, I'm pushing open the gate with hesitant hands. A soft, gentle fragrance tickles my nose. The one flower that blooms in this mansion that none can be allowed to touch. The scent of that lovely girl, who I hesitated to touch, has gone somewhere out of reach. They drew, okay, she's got giant derp eyes, but they drew them so well. Like, and I just love it in this because it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Saint Germain, what's wrong? Why are you making that face? Miss Spacey, illuminated by the light from the window, as she smiled with grace, looking just as she did when she stayed here in this mansion, with that same smile, just like a flower, as the one she used to send my way. Oh, he's hallucinating us. Oh, ow. I should be the only one here. How can you be? My head has not caught up to this moment, and my feelings begin to overflow from my chest. My legs take steps forward on their own. Miss Spacey, getting closer to her smiling before me, I gently reach out my trembling hand towards her. I want to touch you. A second, a moment, even for just an instant. I want to feel your warmth that would fill this void in my chest. However, oh, my fleeting wish didn't reach, and she begins to fade and melt into the sunset. The small particles of dust dance in the lonely light that shone from the window. Only her belongings remained, and the silence here continues and waits for her return. This is so melancholy and heartbreak. You're like, oh, I know it's gonna have a happy ending, but it's still like, oh, their pining hurts me every time. And that was quite a daydream. And something is wrong with me, I must say. How much did I truly expect for her to be here? Smiling self-derisively, I touch the cold window as I talk to myself. And this pain is self-inflicted. If I was going to hold such feelings, then back when I saw Miss Spacey off, I could have said so many other things.
Spacey! Spacey! Spacey!
I know you'll miss her, but calm down, Impy. People are staring and it's uncomfortable. The light of the sun, reluctant to leave, colored the train that was preparing to depart. And the day when Spacey's group decided to leave London and live in Wales, at twilight, the world is colored a lonely hue. Away from Lupin's crew had all gathered at Waterloo Station to see them off.
I know angels have to return to heaven, but I'm still gonna miss you!
Keep it down, Impy. We all feel the same. I know. Our beautiful boys, we just want to be with all of you forever. Besides, this isn't the final farewell. She's going to be regularly coming to London so that Victor can check up on her. And you'll be checking up on her too as part of your mission from my dear, right, Saint Germain? Yes, together with Hansel. When we do, we'll come bearing gifts. I really don't want anyone in the way of our happy time with just the family, but I guess I can make some tea or something if you guys decide to come by.
Why lie? I know you're happy about it. Ugh, you're so stubborn even till the end.
Best friends! And the sun increased its reddish glare as it shone upon the crew excitedly chattering. I am sure that even if our paths part ways now, our bonds will never disappear. However, I wonder if there'll be a time when the comrades here will ever gather again. Oh, comrades here now will ever gather again. Oh, don't make me sad. I shake my head and toss away this doubt that moves my heart ever so slightly. Really, thank you, everyone. I'll write letters when I arrive in Wales. If you're ever in the area, please stop by. Continuing the sadness of parting in her eyes, and Miss Spacey says her words of thanks to each and every person. We talked about how we'd miss each other at the mansion every day until today. Yet, perhaps the reason we haven't really missed it enough yet was because, for us, our existence was so incredibly memorable. All right, it's time, big sister. Are you just about finished with your goodbyes? Oh, hold on for a second. After finishing her goodbyes with everyone, The last person that she came to was me, watching everyone from a distance. Miss Spacey, this moment has finally come. Yeah, for everything since I've been in London until right now. Thank you, Saint Germain. That's my line. I haven't done anything to deserve gratitude from you. In fact, there was a moment where I stood in your way as an enemy. But in the end, you still saved me. You saved both me and Venice. And that's why it makes me think again right now that it was because you were here that I was able to grasp this future. I'm sure it's because I spent time with you that I was able to obtain the heart of a human. Along with a smile shining almost too brightly, as she touches her chest and looks towards me. With her hand on the horologium, the beautiful flower gem, now powerless. And that's why I'm saying this, Saint Germain. Thank you for these valuable emotions. These emotions that I'm certain I never had. To laugh, to be upset, to be sad. And for me to feel this way about... And the words that she tried to form get drowned out by the train. Of course, cock-blocking train. In the midst of the sound of steam that is so enough that we can't hear each other. Wait. In the midst of the sound of steam that is so enough that we can't hear each other, even though we're right in front of each other. That's a lot. That's a mouthful right there. Instead of the words that didn't reach, she was staring at me with wavering eyes. I must answer. Driven by such feelings, I opened my mouth. But should I say something? Or should I wait for her words once again? Such hesitance in that moment's caused... I told you! Come on, big sister! It's time! Hurry! Having my opportunity eternally taken away, her hands pulled from me by a flustered Phyllis, I wonder what she wanted to say in that one moment she looked back at me. However, I'd not have the chance to ask about it. And you never did, no matter how many times you went to see her. Simultaneously as Miss Spacey got on, the train slowly started to move. We'll see you again, you two! Take care! And the steam that bursts out conceals her face as she stares towards us as she leans out the window. I'm also sure that the sound of the wheels moving drowns out my utterance. Goodbye, madam. I continue staring at the train that furthered. If I had more time now, would I have said something different? As I ask myself such questions that do not have an answer. Aww. My goodness, it's already this time. I had not realized. It's probably because I've been lost in thought for some time, but it's already that time when moonlight shines in from the window, and the night descends. After cleaning Miss Spacey's room, I sit in the common room, and now I really have nothing else to do. How'll I spend all of this dull time tomorrow? I tilt my head in question and direct my eyes to the corner of the room. Displayed there are precious memories. And the centuries I spent as an apostle could not even begin to measure up to the bright days contained with a single photo sitting there. I was like, is it going to be the favorite? It's my favorite one! Oh, I love this one from the first one. Everybody all happy. Look at fucking Van Helsing's beautiful happy face. Lupin, Van Helsing, Victor, Impy. The ones who hold the key of fate, drawn together by Omnibus's prophecy. And the person in the middle of it, the girl of poison, the grave calamity. Although, if one were to see her smile, no one would ever believe such a thing. For us, I wonder if her existence was bigger than anything else. the Impy princess and manservants. And the girl born as an isolated doll, who desperately struggled for her wish and confronted her fate. And we spent our days with her, and she always smiled. Every one of us wanted to protect her. Every one of us loved her dearly. Even myself, who was supposed to stop the plan, even if I had to kill her. Emotions. I had no idea they were this difficult to control. Oh, and I realized I could not kill her. I knew I was drawn to her. Her beauty to live. our beauty to be strong. As I step towards the photo, I touch its surface gently.
Well, now you have to clean the photo. Get some Windex.
Soon, this mansion will not be a place to come home to, only a place to stop by. From now on, they'll come and go as guests, and I'll see them off as guests. And every time, I'm sure that I'll have to restrain myself from stopping them from leaving. I can only hear the ticking of the clock as I stand in the entrance.
Poor thing. Oh, he's like, I'm just going to chain everyone. Once you enter, you can never leave. Oh, you came as a guest. I put a ward on the door. No one can leave. Like, locked door for everyone. Once you're in, you can't go. Like, it's a prison.
And this is quite unlike myself. It isn't that they've stopped contacting me, or that I can never see them again. What am I so anxious about? And something, not dry laughter nor a scoff, lodges itself in my throat.
It's a sob.
For me, to try to tell them what they should do in their future is something that shouldn't be done. It shouldn't be done, and yet... And the attachment quietly seeps into my chest, and I soon feel as if I'm drowning.
Oh, it's like he's going to sob.
If you're going to make such a lonesome face...
If you're going to make such a lonesome face, then you should say it out loud, Saint Germain. You seem to be cowardly when it comes to your own wishes. It's best for you to remember, if you take things in your own hands, there are many things you can reach for.
For some reason, the words of the only person I was ever able to call a friend from long ago came to mind. To remember that person at a time like this. No, in fact, perhaps because it is a time like this. This chilling sensation that pains my chest as if to be creaking, even though I'm not wounded or ill. It's not happened since I lost that friend. Ah, I see. I've not felt that for a while, yet. So this emotion is loneliness. A cold wind enters and shakes the window slightly as it brushes my cheek. The many years since losing my friend, and my comrades leaving less than a year later. The short amount of time that I've not been able to see her. Along with the winter, it pierces my chest and I begin to think about it once again. I wonder what she's doing right now. I wonder how she'd respond if she was here. She'd be smiling. Our heart would be moved by every change of the season. The comrades around us would clamor as usual. And no, I'd not mind if there was such a clamor. Just spending time with them, I'm sure it would be a joyous day. Poor precious sad lonely baby. And thinking about it like so, I could not be still any longer. I'd just move a little, and I could reach for it. Feeling bolstered by
Trismegistus's word, whatever. I can't. Anyway, words, his words. That guy's Triscuits. Right, it was Triscuits' words because I couldn't say it when we had to read it in the actual game. I remember. Triscuits. He's running. Saint Germain ran.
I return to my room with a quick pace and go straight to my desk and prepare my
Pen. It's funny. This is his bedroom. It's a fucking library office. It's adorable.
I'm sure that my previous self would have just quietly continued to wait. However, it's my break after all. Is it not a bad idea to take... It is not a bad idea to take a few more steps. Paper, pen, envelope. That's right, everything's here. I prepared just enough paper for everyone and begin writing without hesitation. To my dear comrades.
Speaking of pen, paper, and envelopes, I have to mail a card out today. Which by the time you're seeing this is like a week later, but whatever.
Therefore, time is something that runs away from us when you feel you need it the most. And that's why I shall end this book with these words. Keep in mind that the ordinary is something most difficult to obtain again once it's been lost. Phew! After finishing the last line, I gently close the book. My eyes are tired. I listen carefully. What do I hear? Owls in the night. The wind shakes the trees. Nighttime in Wales is very quiet compared to London, to the extent that it feels just slightly lonely. Big sister, I'm coming in. I had a feeling. And the lights were still on. And so you were awake. What time do you think it is? Oh, sorry. I couldn't sleep, so I started reading and found myself sucked in. Like, I started reading a book. How short is that book? You cannot read a full book in like a couple of hours. Well, like a day, but yeah. I thought something like that happened. At the same time Phineas entered, the smell of milk and honey did too. With a cup placed on a tray before me, I blinked my eyes in surprise. Oh, I can drink this? Huh? What kind of a stupid question is that? What else would you do with warm milk besides drink it? That's so cute. He made us warm milk. He's such a sweet little asshole brother. What? Because he was a dick in the other games, is all I'm saying, right? I know, but technically in the second one, we saved him and he's nice and he's not dead, and so we love him, and he's got goofy little buns, which we love, but thank you. This blunt way of saying things hasn't changed even after we've been living together, but I feel like I've been getting used to the way Phineas talks and behaves. A quiet night in Wales. I take my time sipping the warm milk, enjoying it slowly. Phineas directed his eyes toward me. So, what was the book that kept you up so late? Nothing, really. It's just a book about alchemy. What of it? Lupin taught me perfect acting skills. I hide the book in my hands behind my back. Yeah! Somehow Phineas seems to have seen right through me, because that's not obvious. I wonder sometimes, but are you sure you're not just a big idiot? He takes the book away from me by force, and his expression contorts shortly after. Oh! She's reading a book that Saint Germain wrote. That's so adorable. Oh! The pining hurts my soul. I know it's going to work out, but it hurts. And the study of alchemy and universality. Author Count Saint Germain. It was a book from Father's private library, written over 200 years ago. Saint Germain's motherfucking old. He looks really hot for an old guy, that's all I'm saying. Tracing the name of the author on the cover, Phineas sighs. Hey, you were hiding it, so I wonder what was going on. So that's what this is about. And now that I think of it, he hasn't been coming. Even Hansel comes by occasionally. Yeah, so Saint Germain's face just sort of came to my mind. Ever since I came back to this house in Wales, and since I started to live with Phineas, just as he said, Saint Germain would sometimes visit our house together with Hansel. Of course, I know that it was also part of his surveillance mission as an ideas apostle. I do know that, yet I couldn't help but feel ecstatic when he would come to visit me. But as Phineas mentioned, I haven't seen him in some time now. Whenever I asked Hansel on his visits, he would answer me as vaguely as possible. I wonder if something happened. Maybe Idea asked him to go on a huge mission or something. Saint Germain and the others already explained to me about Idea and their missions. The secret society for shaping history. They eliminate those who distort the world. If that's the case even now, for the sake of world peace, he must be cleaning the mansion. It's not something you need to worry about. Hansel was saying that too. There's not really any more of a need for them to keep watch of you. I'm sure he's not here because his job to keep tabs on me is over? That really is why he has no need to see me anymore. If that is the case. My shoulders slumped down at the very thought I verbalized. The pain that runs through my chest is difficult to endure. I wonder if his coming here this whole time was just him doing his job. If that's the case, Saint Germain, he'll never come again. You know what I love about these is she's pining over him and he's pining over her, and it's beautiful. Because in real life you're pining over someone and they're like, what? And they don't give a shit. Or they're pining over you and you're like, no, I wish you wouldn't. It's always one-sided. It's very rare when it's beautiful like this. And you're like, oh, it's cosmic and we're both pining over each other. That's adorable. I'm just saying. You're so depressing. It's irritating. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Okay, so you ever watch iCarly? You should if you haven't, because that show is great. I still watch it. I'm not even kidding. When I was cleaning my craft room, I would put it in because I love it.
But there, in one of the very first few episodes, there's just a part where Sam annoys Freddy and he just goes, "What is wrong with you?" And I can't help but hear that every single time, any version of the "What's wrong with you?" line, anything like even remotely close to that, that's all I hear in my head. What is wrong with you? I just had to share that because it's exactly why I read it that way, and that's exactly what I was reading in my head, and oh my god, it's hilarious. I will never forget it. 30 years from now, what is wrong with you? It's been 84 years. Anyway. He yells as he points at me, his own face contorting. I'm back at the Nautilus. You forced your feelings on me no matter what I said. And when it comes to yourself, you just keep going on and on, even though it's not like he said he won't ever come again. Oh, what is it? Just because it's all peaceful now, you're gonna act innocent? You of all people. You of all people? Those were unreasonably rude words. I feel it would be okay if I, the older sister, used this as an opportunity to guide my brother, using wisdom given to me from Van Helsing. Oh god, are you gonna punch him? Though his conclusion and the way he said it was rough, I believe I understood his intent. Thank you, Venice. You were trying to cheer me up, correct? Sure. You're such a simpleton. I mean, if that's what it sounded like to you, then sure. Venice shrugs his shoulders as if he's disgusted. Oh, well, maybe you should just ask him directly the next time you see him, if you really want to know why he's been gone. Next time I see him, if I ever do. So I think I'll go myself and see him. Then I want to go see him. There's no way of knowing when he'll be coming back here unless I ask him myself. I couldn't possibly spend my days carrying such a restless feeling. Although I'm sure you'd be against it, going so suddenly to London. I glanced quickly towards him. I knew you were going to say that. You're always so impulsive with stuff like this, aren't you, big sister? Look at his precious face, though, when he's actually being, like, happy fucking Finnis. He's like precious, like, beautiful little eyes. Like, he's got saucer. I mean, his, like, irises are like saucers. But they're, I don't know, they're just adorable. Finnis scratches his head, his expression looking half defeated. Although this time, he's the one that's contacting you first. Huh? Look at his beautiful paper! It's as goddamn extra as he is. As he speaks, Finnis pulls out a fancy envelope. I open it, my eyes go wide. Along with the subtle fragrance of flowers, the words are written with such beautiful handwriting. Of course, his handwriting's extra, just like him. December 24th, to Lupin's crew. Let us gather at Christmas at the mansion of Count Saint Germain. Is this? Yes, it is. An invitation from Saint Germain. I wanted to pretend I didn't see it and use it as tinder for firewood, but I'm guessing you wouldn't have liked that. Can we go to London? Well, I don't really like how it's an invitation from that count I despise. Do you still dislike Saint Germain? I can empathize. I really can. Saint Germain, Idea's apostle, he was Finnis's I don't know why Finnis's enemy for some time. I just trip over that many S's. I was able to trust Saint Germain as a member even after he drew his blade on me, but for Finnis, Saint Germain killed him many times. I mean, that's a little hard thing to get over. It's a little traumatic. I'm confident that he must have mixed feelings whenever we meet. But, as if to be sneering at me inside, Finnis shrugged his shoulders once again. You seem to misunderstand. I don't dislike him because he's an enemy. If I start saying I disliked him because of that, then where does that leave us? I mean, that's true. But I feel you're more harsh with him compared to the others in the crew. I mean, it's obvious. For you, he seems to have... What? He has what? Never mind, it's nothing. Anyway, all I'm saying is that I don't dislike him because of whatever you're thinking. I wonder why he's become so upset. It's Finnis. He's a little PMS monster, okay? I don't really understand what my brother is thinking about, but though he was quite animated a moment ago, I feel relieved about Finnis now. I see. Well, that's good then. After all, I want Saint Germain and Finnis to get along properly because I'm gonna marry Saint Germain. I couldn't bear it if the two most important people in my life couldn't get along. In fact, If we're going to start talking about idea, and then Hansel is more of a problem. He just doesn't care if friend or foe. He keeps coming over to our house only to leave after eating some snacks. Yeah, you might be right about that. If in Hansel's words, it's apparently because he's your friend. Impossible. Are you sure he just doesn't call anyone who gives him snacks his friend? He might. Laughing with warm milk in one hand, I look up towards the moon outside the window. It's the bunny llama moon, the bunny bear llama moon monster. The air is so clear tonight, and it's so easy to see the moon and the stars. The first time I met Saint Germain, the first time I opened up about my past was on a moonlit night like this one. I wonder if he's looking up at the moon from the mansion in London right now. Back when we left for Wales, I couldn't tell him what I wanted to. The only steps worth of distance between us. The one step's worth of distance between us felt so lonely to me. I wonder if my words got through to him. What was he trying to say back then? No matter how many times I saw him afterward, I couldn't ask him about it again. I still regret how we parted ways. It's not that I'm dissatisfied with anything in my life, but I do want to go to London. I want to see Saint Germain and everyone else. And I want to hear what he was trying to say. Perfect timing. Okay, I'm going to wrap this part up here. And we will continue being Saint Germain in the next part. And we'll have the same problem of not remembering the voice we gave him. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.